Hi, I'm Ben Schachter, broker and president of the Signature Real Estate Companies. Welcome back to another episode of Signature Tube. Today, I am joined by Randy Eubanks, known in the marketing industry as Euby, the owner and proprietor of Suncoast Marketing. Randy, welcome. I'm so happy to have you today.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Tell me, Randy, a little bit about yourself and a little about your company. My viewers would love to learn about Suncoast and about you.
Okay. Suncoast is a 40-year young company here in South Florida. We've been in the industry personally for 38 years, so I didn't start the company. I became part of the company in 1994. Prior to that, I took marketing in college. I've always been a bit of a salesperson. Starting out with my first business at 9 years of age, that turned into a couple of more businesses. I knew all along that I wanted to be in sales or some type of marketing. I studied that in college, had my degree in business and marketing, and came out of the college in 1979, hard to believe, went to work for the largest printing company in the world at the time, which was called Moore Business Forms. Moore was strictly a print company. The industry has evolved over the last years, and we're now everyone is in print and promotional business. It's not strictly a print business anymore. Suncoast was a customer of mine. When I came out of college and went to work for Moore, there was a short period of time, 3.5 years, that I was there. At that time, telemarketing came along. I ended up going to a company, by the grace of God, in Florida, and became a Florida boy outside of South Carolina, and lived here for the rest of my years so far. It's been a great run. Suncoast was a customer of mine at Better Business Forms while I worked for them, and in 1994, things changed at the old company due to an acquisition, and the opportunity arose for me to buy into Suncoast. And so my customer became my company. And the rest, as they say, is history. We're now number 1 in the state of Florida in our industry, and number 33 to 37 in the national listings, based on which list you read.
From a professional standpoint, is there specific industry training someone in marketing and promotional products has to achieve, or is it really on-the-job training? If you could tell us a little bit about your background in terms of what you know about the industry and how you became educated. Perhaps it was through past career, maybe it was while you're running this business, but everyone would like to know for sure.
Well, as I stated, all of my studies in college related to marketing and sales. There were actually salesmanship classes, which are a rarity today. I don't know why, but they've kind of disappeared. Nova University here locally brought some back. They now have Wayne Huizinga sponsored a sales institute there, so it's a unusual place to have that close, accessible for us. But my education was, again, through college. Then I went to work for Moore. Moore had the most extensive training in the industry. You would go away for 2 weeks at a time, and it was literally a boot camp. And they worked you from early in the morning till late in the evening. It was probably not possible to do that today due to employment laws and things, but they were very thorough. When I left there, it was upon myself at my company here in Florida to continue my education. I've always been a big believer in that. I spent a lot of time in the industry trades, going to plants, touring, being able to know exactly how the products were manufactured so that I could more effectively sell them. In addition to that, I've been on the National Association board. I've been on the regional association boards, and as a result of being in those capacities, the education was brought to us so that we could be on the leading edge as we spoke to our clients.
That's phenomenal. Talk to us a little bit about your company specifically in terms of key positions, key members of your team. Obviously, you are the face of Suncoast.
Yes.
We met about a year ago, and I've been very impressed by dealing with you. But I know you have a lot of rock star talent back in your office who I've dealt with primarily by email and phone.
Sure.
Tell us about each person's key role and who customers might be dealing with if they decide to use Suncoast for their products and services.
Absolutely. If I'm doing my job, I'm out doing this. I'm out meeting with you, meeting with marketing, meeting with the sales departments. That's where I should be. So if our customers call in, they need that person to be that liaison for me when I'm out on the road. As a result, we've built a customer service department at Suncoast that is actually dedicated by account. So if you are my client, as you are, your primary contact is assigned to you. That's, in this case, would be Louis Messia. Lewis is one of our senior customer service reps. He handles our major accounts. He handles just about everything for me. He is immediately backed up. In case he's out or traveling himself, he's backed up by Yvonne Jacks, which supports my clients directly. Each sales rep is assigned a customer service person, and each customer service person is assigned specific accounts within that rep's basis. So they are the primary contact. If by chance there is a website or a company store involved, that switches them over to also work with our ePod. The ePod supports all of those transactions. If one of your brokers is on the line and they can't quite figure out how to order or quite figure out how to get the logo that they need onto that product, that's where the ePod kicks in. They'll walk them through it. They'll do it for them if they need to. We have people that actually still fax in orders, and we enter it into the e-system for them.
What's a fax machine?
I know, but it's true. They really do. They just won't switch over to the new technology. That's okay. We've got the support people there to do it. Beyond that, I would go to our creative department. Claudia and her team are just phenomenal. We bring people in, we sit around the conference room table, do a little brainstorming, and create an entire branding for those folks. We've been doing that for years. We were early on with the technology of the e-commerce platforms. We quickly realized with that technology, we had to have the creative capacity to support it. We brought that in-house because dealing outside the house was just a logistical nightmare trying to tie all the pieces together. That department has grown. It's now one of our larger departments. Between e-commerce and the graphic arts and creative, it actually creates about a quarter of our staff.
It's interesting you say that, because here at Signature, we too have brought everything in-house. We have our website design, we have our legal, we have our accounting, marketing, advertising, customer service, social media, IT, all in-house. So we certainly see eye to eye in that vein with running a business. It allows us as entrepreneurs to have a little bit more control over our results, to make sure that our team is delivering on full cylinders at all times. Tell me, in addition to having what sounds to be a remarkable staff, and I know as a testament being one of your customers, your staff has been phenomenal to work with, very customer service oriented, very results driven, which is exactly how I like to run my business. And in addition to having some of these cutting edge technological tools you've mentioned, what makes Suncoast unique in your opinion as the proprietor? There's a lot of companies that people can go online and order merchandise. They can buy pens like this, they can buy brochure folders or t-shirts like the one you're wearing, or button downs, pardon me. What makes Suncoast special? You've spent a lot of years in the industry, you've been in leadership in the industry, you've mentioned that. What do you really pinpoint is special about your company and why we should drive business to you?
I think it starts with our people. If you walk into the Suncoast offices, the first thing you're going to see on the wall is our longevity plaque. Our staff has been with us for years. People don't leave. There's two reasons for that. One, I think we provide a wonderful work environment. It's a very family-oriented type of company, even though there's very little family involved, but we treat each other that way. And they all know that management has their back, and that management's going to do whatever's necessary to make the customer happy. There's nothing worse than being in an environment where you're working for a company, you've got customers that you want to serve, and your company won't back you up. I was there with my first employment. It was a terrible position to be in. You couldn't get anything done. At Suncoast, we get things done. If a customer has a problem, we don't worry about fixing the blame on them or whoever the blame should be put on. We worry about fixing the problem. We'll go back and look at those particulars later on, but let's get the problem taken care of. Our people all have that can-do attitude. Every one of them. They won't be there long. They won't make it past their probationary period if they don't. Mm-hmm. You can quickly lose a job at Suncoast by saying that's not my job, because if it needs to be done, it's everybody's job. I've delivered. I can't do the creative. You don't want me to do the creative. It would look very, very childish. But any other job in that company, I'm willing to roll up my sleeves and do. So is everyone else. If it's within their skill set, they'll jump in and work, and they'll take care of it. So that culture of our company is different than what I've seen in most. And I think the clients, they pick up on that. They know that people care. And when people care, they also go out of their way to help you help them. And once you get that type of synergy working, things happen, and you get the results you're looking for.
Since you have such an extensive e-commerce platform, I assume your business is not local just to South Florida. Some of the guests that we have on Signature Tube, their business is very limited to the geographical area that we are in. Do you do business all around the country and all around the world, or are all of your clients right here in South Florida?
It's a mix of all of those things. As the years have gone by, we've become much more global. I actually personally do a great deal of business offshore. I spend a lot of time in the islands, and it wasn't by choice of vacation. It was business just growing to that area. So I'm out of the country at least twice a year, seeing clients that are offshore. We also have a national footprint. Because of our e-commerce capabilities and our manufacturing capabilities throughout the country, we can support clients all over. We do not manufacture much offshore. However, we do have the capability, if you were a multi-country location customer, we can actually take your orders into our e-pod, and I can have them printed in Paris, France. I can have them in Buenos Aires. I can have them in Barcelona, Spain. Those can all be printed on site in those cities and delivered within 5 days.
Fascinating, fascinating. Now, for us here at Signature, we have a special relationship. We're not just a consumer that's buying logoed shirts or logoed pens from you. We have our own website. We have something that is very important to us that's called signaturesupplystore.com. You were nice enough to build that out with your team for us. To develop a platform such as this, could you explain to our viewers the benefits that someone like myself enjoys by having their own proprietary website to feature the products that you provide? I could certainly share with them, but I'm sure they'd rather hear from you.
Okay, absolutely. Basically, when we build a website, we dedicate ourselves to making that website branded to the client. So when a user comes on, whether it's an internal store or if it's an external selling platform, when the customer actually goes to the platform, as far as they know, they're at Signature. They're not at Suncoast, unless the client wants us to represent as Suncoast. There are some clients that prefer that. But for the most part, it's branded to them. We're able to do print on demand. We're able to do inventoried items so that if a client needs something right away, we can ship it out the next day. We have pictures of the product. They can blow those pictures up. They can add different logos. They can see what it's going to look like immediately. Hit yes. That goes straight, without anybody touching it, it goes straight to the plant. We in our e-pod insist that every order have human eyes. Most companies don't do that. It doesn't slow down the process other than the time that it takes to come to that person. They pull it up on screen. We're in the business. We're experts. A client that's putting something into the system from outside may not know all the nuances, may not realize that they put that text in too small. They're going to get a pen and they won't be able to read it. So we put human eyes on it because the computer won't pick that up. The system won't. If you tell it to print in 2-point, they're going to print in 2-point. That's the way it's programmed to do. So we do put human eyes on it. We want to make sure that what the end result is what the client wants. So we do inject that humanistic part into our e-commerce, but that is the future. That's where our business is growing. That helps us keep our costs down, and it helps us be proficient in getting the product out to the client.
Fascinating. So as a real estate brokerage company, marketing and advertising is a big part of what we do. We're in a highly competitive space. We're always trying to find buyers and sellers and landlords and tenants that want to do business with us. Most of our viewers are in the real estate business, many from our company and beyond our company. What can Suncoast do to help the man on the street or the woman on the street realtor to get more business? I know how you help my company as a broker owner. You help me with beautiful printed materials. You help me with a lot of branding and merchandise that I can give to my sales team. But what do you recommend, or what value add can you provide to an agent? An agent calls you and says, I want to build my business. What types of products and services do you offer to an individual salesperson that could help them further their business?
The first thing we like to do is either I and or part of my team go to that agent's office, or that agent comes into our facility, and we sit down and we find out what are the pain points that agent is experiencing, what are the passion points that that agent has. We encourage every one of our customers, not just realtors, but I think realtors in specific, that they need to narrow their focus a little bit and make sure that they know their market. If they know their market, then we can help them market to that market. It's the same thing as shooting with a shotgun or shooting with a .22 rifle.
So if I'm focusing on luxury homes on the ocean versus condos in Western Tamarack, I might want to have a different marketing campaign.
Absolutely.
If I'm trying to find people that own gas stations to list their gas stations for sale with me, as to somebody who wants to buy a home for a first-time home buyer, you can help me develop a marketing campaign.
Absolutely. Whether it be print, whether it be digital, whether it be signage, whatever is the best way to approach those. There's so many different pieces of marketing now. We term it cross-media marketing. And the target that you have, whether it be oceanfront homes or gas stations, whatever, everyone takes their information in differently. I think if you sit back and you look at your own home with your own family, one of you may be a television-driven person. One may be strictly getting their news off the laptop. One may want a magazine or a newspaper. So there's so many different pieces of information coming at everybody every day. We have to determine who that target audience is. Demographics will tell us a lot about how to best approach them, but we need to drill down with that agent, determine what that market is, determine who the target is, and then just comb that marketing dollar into where the best bang for the buck is going to be.
And in your promotional product library, do you have a couple of dozen different products to choose from, or do you have more products?
We have about 30,000 items. Now, all of those would not be directed toward the real estate market.
Of course.
Ironically, we're right now working on a little flyer, a specials, a low-cost specials for your agents that'll offer a dozen items that are all real estate driven, to some extent, that they can share with their prospects or their clientele to keep that memory out there, to keep that recognition of their name if they're working in that certain area. Those are the type of things that we like to work on. We like to look at unique items when they first come to market. I'll be traveling to New Orleans in the fall to see firsthand all the new products that are coming in for the new year. We want to be first to market with it, because if you're the first realtor out there with that new little idea, people are going to recognize that. Once they've gotten it from 4 or 5 other people over the next 2 years, not so much. So we want to be that first to market. We want to be that cutting edge and get it out there early and then repetitiously so that they remember.
One of my favorites is the silicone backing to my cell phone.
Yes.
It's a novelty item. It's inexpensive. It's with me 24 hours a day. When I'm going to the gym or exercising or socializing, I put a driver's license or a credit card in it. When I'm out for business, I put business cards in it. And it's funny, I've trained myself when I'm on the phone not to cover the advertising, but to hold the phone like this so the advertising is still touching the viewers that I wish to see it. So that's a great product. Well, it's fascinating to hear about you and your company and the success of Suncoast. I know as a customer of Suncoast, we've been thrilled with your service.
Thank you.
Your products are remarkable. Your pricing is competitive. But most importantly, I would agree, it's that people factor that makes the difference in your company.
Excellent.
And that's important to us. If we're going to refer business your way, other than the real estate agents that do business with us and that are watching today, who's your ideal customer that we could send your way to help you grow the success of Suncoast?
I thought about that question, and I was going to turn that and say, it's actually you in Signature. That is the ideal company for us. Any company that has multiple locations, multiple people, they need to control the brand. They need to control the spend. They want to focus those dollars in so that they're not wasting money marketing oceanfront homes in Tamarack, nor are they marketing Tamarack homes on the ocean. They want to narrow that focus and get it to where they're getting the most exposure for every dollar. Multiple location companies, a lot of times they have, I hate to use the term rogue, but rogue people. They want to do their own thing, and it doesn't always make sense, but to them it makes sense, but it may not make sense from a marketing standpoint. So to help control that's what we do best. When they have multiple locations like that, it works out so well for us, it works out so well for the customer, and it's easy to quantify and show the ROI on those works. That's where we like to focus, but in all honesty, everyone's a customer for us. There's no one in business that doesn't use any of our products or services. So literally every business in Broward County, Dade County, Palm Beach County, anywhere, every one of them uses our products and services. It's targeting it and getting the right people connected with us and making those things happen.
Fascinating. Well, Randy, I really enjoyed our conversation. I appreciate it.
Thank you very
Congratulations
much.
on all the success of Suncoast. To our viewers, once again, this is Randy Eubanks, the owner of Suncoast Marketing. We appreciate you watching Signature 2, and we hope you join us next time for another episode in the very near future. Have a great day.
Thank you.